Today, Precarious plays
MegaMan Battle Network. Hey, food scientist Audette.
Yeah?
Why are some pickles squeaky?
I don't know, I just died, I guess. They are squeaky because your teeth are smooth and some pickles are smooth, so thus the two smooth surfaces when moist squeak. Like the smooth parts of the bottom of a shoe and a wet, smooth floor.
But why do I associate squeaky pickles with cheap pickles?
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Well, see, I know the answer. It's not something that I actually needed answered.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, it's because everyone knows that most of our nation's oil supply is tied up into our deli pickle supply.
You know, I don't believe you. Deli pickles are the best kind, and they're not squeaky.
Well, you've got me there. It's been a while since we played Mega Man.
Yeah.
After the Proto Man incident, I took some time to do a few things. I bolstered my chip collection. Both the variety is higher, and the quantity overall is much higher. More importantly, I may have done a little bit of exploration-based grinding. So not true grinding, not just like standing in one spot and fighting the same enemies over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But I would dive deep into the deep internet, and I would fight new creatures, and I gained quite a lot of money and new interesting battle chips in the process.
How many levels did you gain?
I'm not sure about the level. Specifically, because I do have a level total on the upper right-hand corner, but I can tell you that my HP nearly doubled.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. I think I had 300 when I fought Proto Man. I had no armor, now I have wood armor.
Okay.
And I'll explain the significance of that in a minute. And I think that I upgraded charge twice, because I was really dissatisfied with the feel, how long it took to charge the weapon. I was okay with the damage, because a fully charged shot I think does just over 50.
Mm-hmm.
So that is fine. That is a fine value in my book. But getting to that level, it felt like it took forever. The wood armor, it is significant because if I'm interpreting what it says about it correctly, let me go back and check it. I guess I could check it in the shop, but I can't check it here.
Yeah.
It says that it doubles your defense, but it is ineffective against fire attacks. So I interpret that to mean that I take half damage from everything.
Except for fire.
Which will it'll feel like it will do a lot of damage relative to any other attack. But I think it is really just doing the full damage it would normally deal.
Have you worn this to battle and confirmed that more or less?
Yeah, because I've been hit with fire attacks and I haven't instantly been roasted. So
Whoa.
It really is not much of a trade. It's pretty great. And the other thing that I wanted to show you, and this is probably much more significant, I got a much wider variety of chips. I now have, I believe, an alphabetical straight for high cannon and M cannon if I need it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K, L, M. Right? I'm not messing up the alphabet. K, L, M. Yes, N, N. Okay.
You don't have any N's.
I don't need them because I've got good old KLM.
Got it.
Then it would be N and O. That would give me somewhat more flexibility, but just as long as I have the straight, I can do the is it Z cannon? Yeah, use Z cannon. Yes. I went and I got a much larger number of bubblers and heaters because they are just a very effective way of taking care of fire and grass enemies respectively. A few more cross bombs because they are very handy. Having 3 of them there is pretty great. Buffed up a lot of my P code chips.
Yeah.
It is somewhat humorous because they tend to be a lot of water chips. So you wind up putting your PPs everywhere to put out the fires. I have a bunch of copies of Dynawave. That was sort of on accident, but I'm glad that I have them because they're very effective. There were at least a couple that I was very excited to get at the time. Hold on, I think...
Was there a healing one?
No, that's something different. Drop down is okay. It's not as good as pop-up, but it's all right. Just because you can use it to... As long as you have one, you can buy yourself a lot of time. Because it really is invisible until you attack. Oh, this is a cool thing, and I'll have to show you where I got it. I got a second copy of Roll 2.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a big deal. And I got several copies of Woodman on accident while I was trying to grind for money, fighting Sai, I think is her name. But the really interesting thing is almost none of that matters. Everything I just described, all of the interesting diverse chips, because much more importantly, I wound up picking a code and grinding for it.
Oh, wow.
So...
Like a million G's.
And because it's just so useful...
Yeah.
Because it is such a useful attack, that's the only other code I have in here. It's,
the S.
Yeah, it's, what is that? 5 S's. 4 copies of Wide Sword and Steel. But I greatly improved my AoE potential because that's something that I knew that I was struggling with, and it was making it really difficult to get multi-kills, which is where you get big bonuses to your battle ranking for killing multiple enemies simultaneously. So Heater is a staple now. Hurricane is actually pretty okay. Between X panel and Met Guard, I can block an awful lot of attacks. And this is what I texted you so excitedly about. I wasn't sure if I wanted to play this game today over Final Fantasy, and then I'll show you how I got this. I got it in the same way that I got the roll chip.
Yeah.
The Roll 2. I got this and I was like, oh, save the game immediately in text.dat.
Yeah, I got a text message in the middle of the day that was like, oh my god, I missed it.
That's exactly what I typed.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. It's a good catch. Good job enunciating all of that.
Well, you know...
I was afraid it would have been incomprehensible.
With technology as it is, you have to develop like a knack for understanding the tone of text messages, and I think that I've really mastered it.
The only sad thing is that there were a couple of chips that I have in here that I wish I had 2 copies of, because if I did, I would totally drop the Wide Swords and Steel. Like if I had another couple of copies of Dynamite 3, it fills much the same role that Wide Sword does, where it allows you to attack to either side of you.
Yeah.
Or one square in front and then either side of you. And Lock On 2, I'll have to show it to you because it's weirdly complicated. Creates a lock-on satellite is not a very helpful description in my opinion. But in particular, there's interesting synergy between Lock On 2 and either Met Guard or X panel. And Dash, while it's relatively weak, there's an important reason for its inclusion. Also, I wish I had a couple more copies of Thunder 1G, because I was using it alongside Thunder 1S, because they matched the swords. Yeah. But then I found other G chips that sort of fit in better, you know?
Well, I'm excited to see you, you know, turn the battlefield into a wonderful and artful and organized place again.
Yeah, we didn't actually do that yet, did we? Because I told you to make a note, and I don't think... Right, because then we got locked into the restaurant.
Yeah.
In that area. Drop by the waterworks anytime, and now... I ran into a virus with some kind of aura the other day. Damage less than the number it displays. The number it displays doesn't hurt it. Got it. It looks like you need real high power chips for this guy. Yes, that is true. I faced them. I may show you the deep internet.
The deep internet?
Yeah, it's a lot like the regular internet in this one.
Yeah.
But the merchants are shadier.
Yeah.
And the enemies are much tougher. Well, they were, until I started, gathering stuff. I wanted to show you this really quickly before we proceed.
Yeah.
This is a super exchanger.
Yeah.
This is what I used to get a handful of the chips that I have. As a child, I totally ignored this, and I still hate it.
Yeah.
But I wound up getting so many, poopy chips.
You were gonna get rid of them.
Well, this is the way. This is the way to get rid of them.
Oh.
And just to show you, I know that I very rarely use more than 3 of a chip anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna trade these 10 chips and get a Aqua Tower, yay. Well, occasionally you get chips that are either really rare or just as valuable.
Yeah.
You get chips with chip codes that you wouldn't be able to find otherwise. And I checked online, and I'm pretty sure that Recover 150G,
Yeah.
I think that this one you can only get from the chip trader, that chip exchange device.
Yeah.
You can get Recover 200G, I think,
Yeah.
from an enemy in the deep internet. But I ground there for a while and just didn't see enough of them to really make it feel worthwhile. Oh, I talked for a long time about that stuff. Let's go talk to the waterworks guy really quickly, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
I think that was significant enough that it warrants explaining, just so that way I don't just stride out into the battlefield and
By the way, I
obliterate
own
everything.
this land now, and
Hopefully.
I can suddenly turn everyone to paste with no perceivable effort. Hair flip. Hair flip.
I certainly do feel more confident. This game took me for such a rough ride previously that I don't want to go that far.
Uh-huh.
To be perfectly honest, that's sort of how I feel about the situation, but I'm not going to say it out loud because this game will probably make an ass of me.
Mm-hmm.
Very rapidly.
It will turn you into a liar. What is the saying? Pets and children turn you into a liar.
And school teachers. And my first wife. And the second wife. Here he is, Blue Jumper. Thanks for coming by. When I was taken by the WWW, I was given this. Freud shows a WWW pin to LAN. Oh, sweet. So, is that for the server areas I couldn't get into before, or is that for the doors that I couldn't get through before?
Opens lock programs. End game.
Oh, Iceman, of course. You know what? Yes.
Oh.
Let's try this.
Aw, is Iceman the little Eskimo?
Yeah, we fought him before. He was a boss. So see how little damage I'm taking from his attacks?
Is it because of your wood armor?
Yes.
He has a very determined set of eyes. Like, he has really friendly eyes, but his eyebrows are determined.
And let me just show you that there is another chip that I didn't describe because I feel a little guilty for using it, but it's too good to not use.
Yeah.
And this is the advantage of having so many G chips.
Yeah, you can just,
I can just take all of them. So, Gutsman, he's probably gonna hit me, but I don't care. Gutsman, I wound up grinding for Gutsman a little bit.
yeah.
Like several copies. It's too good. It's way too good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it does damage, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see how quickly my Buster charges now.
Yes.
Oh, this is the same
turds.
thing that happened before whenever I fought him. Stop with that.
Well, maybe Gutsman isn't too good. Maybe Gutsman is just...
No, you haven't seen the extent of his
Fair.
powers. Trust me, he's too good, and I'll show you why, perhaps next episode.
Oh, look at his little portrait!
Psh, it's an eye. Who cares about that? I'm so over not G chips. L was a close runner-up, though. It was a tough battle.
I have a preference for the letter O.
What are you gonna do? Low bomb him to death? Get out of here with that.